It's a time that we all look forward to every summer, the summer celebration from Indiana Black Expo. And a lot of people think about the entertainment, but there are a lot of things that go on with summer celebration. You have the exhibits, you have a business conference, and you have the education conference every year. Our guest today, a prominent part of the education conference, Wednesday and Thursday, the Thursday portion in person at the Indiana Convention Center, where you can see him. Our friend Robert Jackson, motivational speaker, well known to Indianapolis. Robert, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing today, Ray?
Doing wonderful. Good to have you here, and good to have you back home here soon. Because I know you travel around. You speak to a little bit of everybody, but I know, given your background, education is something that has always been close to your heart.
It is. Education is key to everything that you do. Played briefly in the National Football League. NFL stands for not for long. So I jumped into education in the mid 90s, teaching at Arlington High School and coaching, and been in education in some capacity ever since. Don't really consider myself a motivational speaker, more of a solutions-based speaker, trying to give educators, parents, and students solutions to their problems. My motto is, for every problem, there's a solution.
And I suppose a lot of people would say there are problems in education. And at the same time, I've been hearing this since I was in school, since you and I were in high school, elementary school, that this is the pivotal moment for education. But what makes this era different, do you think, than, say, our era when maybe you and I were in high school?
Well, it's a little different. We just come in through a pandemic, and neither you or I experienced that as young people. Like my children, I have a daughter who's a sophomore in high school this year, and her 7th, 8th grade years were basically spent in the pandemic. And I think that makes the biggest difference in kids losing that social interaction for 2 years. And not just kids, the mental health of educators, the mental health of teachers, the mental health of parents. Mental health was already an issue, and now it's skyrocketed. So we have to continue to talk and continue to get healing, continue to move forward, because many of us have been affected in some way by the aftermaths and during the pandemic. Many of us have lost family members. There's been teachers who've been lost, kids. It's tough. So the mental part of it is something that we really have to deal with, because your mental health is just as important as your physical health.
That is a part of what you're going to be discussing during your time at the education conference as the opening keynote, because there are forums on a little bit of everything, but in the forum that you're a part of specifically talks about trauma right now and dealing with kids who are dealing with trauma, and we're not talking about physical trauma necessarily, but emotional trauma, all of those things you mentioned. And oh, by the way, we're always thinking about the potential for a school shooting now, because it seems like every time we turn around during the school year, something is happening somewhere.
Well, I agree with you 100%, that, school shootings are taking place, and there needs to be safety measures in place for that. But there are shootings taking place outside of school too. A young man get pulled over for a traffic stop and he's shot 60 times. That doesn't make sense to me. But when you're a man of color in this country, those type of things tend to happen on a daily basis. The only difference now is it's being televised. You have another young man who goes to Chicago during the 4th of July. He killed 6 people, but he's walked away in handcuffs. Something's wrong with that picture. And many of us, especially men of color in this country, have been traumatized, or people of color have been traumatized over and over and over again. And it needs to be addressed. How do you shoot an unarmed man 60 times? But someone kills 6 people and he walks out in handcuffs, so the trauma, it runs deeper than just the school shootings. Many of us, including myself, have been dealing with trauma, growing up, in Brightwood, or growing up in the inner city. I grew up in Indianapolis, even though I live in Atlanta, so, I've been seeing this my whole life, and it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, you've always been very open about the personal trauma that you went through as a child, as a young man.
Sure.
Growing up, and that I would imagine has informed what you do now and what you've done for years, and that's speaking to people about solutions to all of the problems out there.
Yeah, absolutely, because 70 to 75% of people who go through trauma have an unmet need for mental health services. And many times, the trauma started for me back when I was 15 and I lost one of my best friends, Tony Binion, to a shooting. And then Michael Taylor gets killed. And then you see in all this trickle effect of so many things that's going on. But we have to be able to sit down and talk about these things and address them without the emotions involved. Because your experiences, Ray, are different from mine, but your experiences are still relevant to be talked about. So we need to be able to sit down. That's what culture diversity is about: acceptance and respect for each other's opinions, each other's backgrounds, each other's stories. And that's what I want to bring to the Indiana Black Expo Education Summit as the keynote. I want to bring us back together and let's start talking about these issues, starting addressing them one at a time, and come up with some viable solutions.
How difficult is it to talk about this? Because we talk about these potential solutions, and a lot of this is going to take time. And yet, every time we turn on the news, and we are guilty of this in the news media, we seem to be talking about all of the bad that's happening out there, and the need for solutions. Well, the solutions I would think are out there. It's just a matter of getting them implemented. And I guess, I don't know, do we just have to be patient and wait, and knowing that we're going to have to endure, whether it's gun violence, whether it's anything else going on out there, or we're just going to have to endure that until some of those solutions take hold?
Well, I feel like, Ray, that, and I understand how the news works and the ratings go up when these certain things, but we also got to report, the positive things that's going on in the community. There's a lot of folks in Indianapolis doing a lot of great things. James Wilson, one of them in the community. He's a good friend of mine and colleague. You have several community leaders that are doing some phenomenal work in Indianapolis, and it needs to be highlighted. People need to understand there's not just shootings going on. I know shootings are highlighted because it happens, but there's more going on in Indianapolis than shootings. There are so many positive programs. There's some educational programs. There's people who are graduating from high school and graduating from college. And, I just would like to put some focus on some of the positive things in the community, like the IBE Education Summit is one of them, but there's so many programs going on this weekend that weekend, the Black Expo, that are so positive. And I just wish we can just highlight some of those things just as much as we highlight the shootings.
You can find out more about Robert Jackson. What's your website again, sir?
Website is robertjacksonmotivates.com. I do motivate people, but I do more than motivate. I try to give them solutions. But you can follow me on Twitter at RJ Motivates, and on IG at Rob J Motivates. Sorry about the noise in the background. I'm at an education conference here in Vegas, so
that's okay.
There's people everywhere, so sorry about that.
I no need to apologize in this day and age of Zoom. This is how we get things done when we have to. And go see Robert. You will not be disappointed if you go see Robert Jackson and everything else happening at the Education Conference Wednesday, Thursday. The Thursday sessions are in person at the Indiana Convention Center. We've got registration info at WRTV.com. Always good to see you, Robert Jackson, and look forward to seeing you this week.
Good seeing you too, sir. Look forward to seeing you in Indianapolis. Take care.